All right, part two of ANA Cricket Show, wrapping up round two. As we said, Longview Shield, ANA beat Carnegie South by 20 runs, which means that we're one of 10 teams on 6 points. The other teams, Brighton Union on 12 after winning their first 2 games, and the only team not to have won a game is Kingston Heath. But I guess an upset of sorts. Well, it depends how you look at it, because Mackie have had a very good record over the years against East Sandringham in home and away games, and they did it again. Mackie making 5 for 185 with the stalwarts Brendan Clark making 58, Damien Crotterfield making 54, and Craig and Dale Park both making 27 each. Craig not out, and they rolled East Sandringham for 151 with an all-round effort for Mackie, Craig Park, Damien Crotterfield and Kinsella as well, both all taking 2 wickets each. Lukey Dallas making 51 and Anton Duddy making 30. What do you reckon of that, Adam?
Yeah, look, playing East Sandy the week before, obviously we only made 90, so there was never enough runs on the board. But again, looking at their team sheet, it was one of those games where if we had another 60 runs on the board and we were able to get through the first 4 or 5, it was really going to open up the middle order, I think, of being plugged with 2's players. And I think that's what you'll find here if you have a look at the score sheet, that the top, I think, 4 or 5 bats got a start, Duddy, Dallas, and I think even Devereaux to an extent. And then there was single figures from the middle order down. So I think that's what happened in this game. Obviously they exposed them early and then ran through them for 151. Mackie's, more experienced guys like Clarkey and Buddha obviously got them off to a good start. So look, Mackie be wrapped dropping the first game to West Bentley, because I'm sure they didn't want to go 0-2 after the first 2 rounds. So big win for them. Big win for them. Yeah,
and I was speaking to Wally Bennett before, and he mentioned that they had about 3 or 4 blokes unavailable. They have issues with depth, in particular this time of the year. But he's pretty confident, like with most seasons gone by, come February and March, everyone's ready to get involved and fighting tooth and nail for those final spots. So, East Sandringham back with the pack at this stage of the year, as they normally do, and I guess it's up to them now to do what they've done in the past and really come home after the Christmas break. An upset as well, LePage Park defeating Washington Park. LePage Park making 174 with Squeak, Steve McConkey making 56. We've got one of the O'Mearas making 32 here. I thought he was playing against our fourth.
No, it's the brother, I think.
Okay.
The left-hander.
Okay, well there you go. And Kosnek making 26. Colin DeLewis taking 3 for 24. Washington Park had the game basically their way, I believe. I think they were they'd hardly lost any wickets when they'd reached 100 or thereabouts, with skipper Craig Nadeau making 62, Gareth Finney making 32. So they were looking pretty strong, but from what I believe, they threw it away, with Big Al Bruder taking 5 for 18 and Knight also taking 2 for 22. So a good result for LePage.
Yeah, whenever someone takes 5 for 18, it means that the other bowling side's more than likely going to win. But look, is it an upset? LePage Park did pretty well last year, and Washington Park were thereabouts. Obviously, Craig Madouse had a flight of the year, which he normally does, and obviously one-day cricket suits him, but that's the way he bats. But they're going to be disappointed. But again, I think it's going to be these sort of teams like the LePages and Washington. They're still going to be very competitive this year, so it's going to be quite close.
Yeah, well, probably from an uncompetitive point of view at this stage, Amiga making 9 for 188 with Timmy Mullane, who I believe was dropped a few times, but finished with 62. If you drop Tim Mullane, you are going to pay the price. Callum Rayner taking 3 for 27, Williams 3 for 43, and Big Leroy taking 2 for 41. Kingston Heath in reply were all out for 79, with Wyden taking 4 for 33 and D'Amico 3 for 5. So Kingston Heath are struggling at this stage in their first couple of games in Longview Shield. They know that they're not playing at their best, and look, they're hoping to, be more competitive as they now play 72 overs instead of 38.
Well, they've obviously got a young team, but the interesting thing here is Amiga was rolled for 80 the week before by Brighton Union, and then come out and roll Kingston Heath for 80 and make them 180 themselves. So, yeah, you could look at that and say, well, geez, is Amiga 100 runs better than Kingston Heath and 100 runs? You know, obviously Brighton Union's on top. So, whether the bottom two, there's that big gap in terms of the first and the bottom two. But look, Amiga's, yeah, I'm sure they're going to want more runs out of their younger guys rather than Tim Mullane making 60 and carrying the bat through. But look,
I think Kingston Heath, once they get their first win on the board, things will be a lot easier for them. It won't be as intimidating.
Like you said, 72 over cricket, it's a different format. So, you know, one day cricket, it's more of a level playing field. But 72, again, they've got a younger list to obviously be able to play from 1 through to 6 o'clock and be very competitive in that time. So, who knows? Who knows?
2 more games to go. Bentley Uniting made 8 for 165 with Damien Britt making 56. Richards 34. Northridge taking 3 for 22, and Justin King 2 for 50. They were passed by Brighton Union, who made 4 for 167, with Gregory making 50, and their recruit Scorgi making 45.
They're going to be tough to beat. It's fair to say. They've won that pretty easily. I think they had about 3 or 4 overs up their sleeve as well. So
Uniting being a likely top 4 finisher, being passed quite easily by Union. So
yeah, but again, Uniting's got a lot of kids this year. You know, I know they won the first game. I forget who they played. They played LePage. And beat them first up. But yeah, I think Brighton Union, they're going to be tough to beat. They've got new bowlers. They've got the new top order.
Is Northridge the express bowler?
No. That's Veach. He didn't play.
Oh, Veach,
I think Northridge is a spinner.
Yep. Okay.
So look, they're like, again, they're going to be hard to beat because they've just got quality throughout.
In the final game, Elwood passed West Bentley 6 for 196. I think with 1 or 2 balls to spare. West Bentley made 6 for 196 with Compathitos in his first game as captain for West Bentley, making 60. Danny Frew also in the runs with 45, and Holmesy making 25. Marshall Bunting took 2 for 18, and Wetdowich took 2 for 44. Elwood, they were off to a flyer. I think they were none for 110 or none for 120, with Bunting making 84 and Nath Harris making 45. Matty Gamlin at the end making 29. Silver for West Bentley taking 2 for 21. But from what I believe, they needed, I think, 6 runs in the last over. I think 3 runs to win with about 2 or 3 balls to go, and a hook to fine leg got dropped by Chopper Reed, from what I believe, which enabled the batsman to make those winning runs, and a good win for Elwood.
Well, you know, probably after the first round, everyone probably would have thought West Bentley were the odds-on favourite to beat Elwood, but all the credit to Elwood. You know, obviously Marshall and Nath, to get off to 120 run start, you know, when you're chasing 109 is going to help all the time. But I think West Bentley had about 3 or 4 of the guys that, like the Caseys, Tim Moore, and these guys didn't play from the week before. But
yeah, look, they've probably got a few blokes up in Bali with their Bentley trip away.
Yeah, well, Caulfield, isn't the Guineas was...
Well, the Caulfield races as well. Yeah,
so we got West Bentley this week, so hopefully a few of them go to the Caulfield Cup. But look, I'm sure Elwood would take it. You know, to chase down 196 is a fantastic effort, and yeah, I don't think West Bentley will mind too much. I think, you know,
better to drop a game at this time of the year.
Exactly
than,
right. So
after Christmas, yeah. So that's Longmere Shield, as mentioned. Brighton Union are undefeated on 12 points. Kingston Heath are on 10, and then are on 0, and then in between that there's 10 teams on 6 points. I think we're about 6th or 7th or something like that. But in the end, we're all on equal points, and let the 2-day cricket begin.
Exactly. Good.
All right. Well, good luck to everyone in round 3, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.